The golden desert stretched wide beneath a fading sun, its winds whispering old stories through palm trees and craggy rocks. On the dusty path that wound between dunes and hills, a lone figure walked with quiet determination. His name was Malik, a Samaritan traveler in his mid-30s with short, neatly trimmed hair, kind and expressive eyes, and the calm confidence of a man who had faced many roads and many judgments, yet held no bitterness in his heart. Malik wore robes that shimmered softly in the sunlight, a deep turquoise tunic stitched with fine golden embroidery, tied with a bright red sash. A beige cloak lay over one shoulder, dusty from days on the road. At his side hung a cloth satchel, worn from use but well cared for, like everything Malik carried, tools for survival and acts of kindness. Beside him walked a sturdy gray donkey, its pace steady and unhurried. Draped across its back, slumped in pain, was a man barely conscious. His name was Ao, a Jewish merchant in his 40s. His skin was dark brown, his curly hair matted with dust and sweat, and his face bore the brutal evidence of an attack, a swollen cheek, a cut above his eyebrow, robes torn and stained with dried blood. Ao had been robbed, beaten, and left to die along the roadside. Dozens had passed him by, unwilling to risk their own safety. Malik, a stranger and Samaritan, had been the only one to stop. He had cleansed Ao's wounds with wine and water, torn strips from his own cloak to bind them, and gently lifted him onto the donkey, walking the rest of the journey beside him. Their destination came into view as the sky burned amber and rose, a small, welcoming inn, nestled between date palms and a rocky outcrop. Its wooden doors stood open, and a lantern flickered by the entrance, casting a warm golden glow on the ground before it. Malik stopped the donkey and carefully steadied Ao as he dismounted. The injured man groaned softly, his large brown eyes half-closed in exhaustion. Inside the inn, the light grew warmer still. The walls were of smooth clay and wood, simple and strong. Hand-woven blankets lined the benches, and the smell of spiced lentils and warm bread hung in the air. It was a place of peace. The innkeeper, Baba Oba, stood behind a small wooden counter. He was a black man in his late 70s, with curly gray hair, a long silver beard, and a posture that still carried strength. He wore a green robe with gold trim, clean and neatly pressed. His eyes sparkled with wisdom and welcome. Malik gently supported Ao toward the door. The injured man leaned heavily on him, barely able to stand. Malik's face, though tired, was full of care. Baba Oba moved quickly to assist, bringing a stool and calling out for his helper to prepare a room. "He's hurt badly," Malik said quietly, laying Ao down with great gentleness. "He was attacked. I found him on the Jericho road." The innkeeper examined the bruised man and nodded solemnly. "You did well to bring him here, son." Malik reek.